Welcome back, everybody. Carpooling with Ben. Today we are talking about a very special initiative that takes place on a very specific day for a very specific reason. That would be 401 Gives. 401 Gives United Way, and who better to talk about that than the leader of the Rhode Island United Way, or United Way RI, Cortney Nicolato. It is great to see you. How are you?
Hi, friend. It's so nice to see you again, not in a car. We really need to fix this.
We will make that happen soon enough. I know, everybody's, we're almost at that finish line in so many different ways. So just doing what we can. So
I love it.
401, I say it because it's the area code for those who are not from Rhode Island. Rhode Island only has one area code. It's 401. And if you look at the date on a map, it just happens to be April 1st is 401 day. So talk to me about this natural, beautiful branding.
We try, here at United Way.
Right.
What was really important to us when we created 401 Gives was one of the things that I think is we don't, as a state, realize how important the nonprofit sector is to our community. And many of us have and work with nonprofit organizations every day. We just might not put two and two together. And so what we wanted to do is kind of utilize this day as a recognition of the sector, and also an opportunity for nonprofit organizations to come together and create a movement to raise critical funds for the sector as well. And so this is our third 401 Gives Day. We started, not planned, April 1st, 2020. We had spent 18 months prepping, and then all of a sudden literally pivoted everything for the first one. But I think this day, one of my favorite parts of the day is this power of community and this power of the collaborative. And I think it just shines on 401 Gives Day. And so Rhode Islanders and folks out of state that are watching can go to 401gives.org and they can look. We're at 500, I think, in 30 nonprofit organizations, the most ever, up 25%. They can look at these organizations and pick which organizations they would like to give to on the special day. So we're really excited. We hope we raise a lot of money on the day.
401, that's not the limit of organizations that could be served. So, we'll toss it for that one, but for everything else, it works. No, and, I really look at it as this is the day where, yes, you understand it just as well as I do, that nonprofits they have to be competitive because, they are receiving donations and support from various people, and they have to prove the work that they're doing. But it feels like this is the day where everybody's on the same team and understanding the greater good. And I may have mentioned this before. I remember my dad, before he went back to the family business of farming, he worked at Raytheon, and every year he would get a little pin on his badge, because back then they wore badges with like an analog picture. They would have to take it and snip it out of the Polaroid and stuff. Crazy how that happens. But he would get a United Way pin. It had the little hand with the logo and stuff. And I remember that as a child, and I always said, Dad, what is that? And he's like, oh, well, it's a way to help out other people, blah, blah, blah. It was pretty cool. But it's not like it's something brand new that just popped up. United Way has been around for a long time, and the beauty is because of the endowment, you're able to operate in a way that all the funds that come in as a donation go out, and also you're able to just compile such great data, which is huge.
It is. And, yes, you're right. United Way's been around in Rhode Island for 96 years. We're getting ready to celebrate our 100th anniversary. And
yeah, my dad said he was 5 years old when it started. So it was crazy.
There you go. And, we work with 400 companies throughout the state and how they think about their corporate social responsibility, how their employees give to their favorite organizations, including our Community Impact Fund. And, every year we put about $13 million out into the community as a result of that generosity. But we also know that there is organizations that we don't participate in or don't have that tight relationship with, as well as, folks who want to give in a different way other than their workplace. And so that's when we kind of thought about 401 Gives. How can we utilize a technology-based platform and allow folks on one specific day kind of go and really give to whatever organization, and then add matching gifts and prizes and others so that we can incentivize nonprofit organizations so that they could stretch their dollar even further. And so, that was kind of the impetus. And what was interesting was when we created it, we wanted to build it off of other giving days across the country. And when I lived in Texas for a bit, we had North Texas Giving Day. North Texas Giving Day started very similar to this. And now I think it's in its 15th year or something like that. It raised $64 million in a day. And so this movement, you know, this creation of a movement and a social media, I think, you know, just best practice. It's, if you haven't gotten an email or seen it on Facebook or seen it on Twitter, don't worry, give it 24 hours because you will. Nonprofit organizations have taken all the tools that we've given them and have just run with it. And it's so cool to watch this idea, right, now come into this, I think, just incredibly iconic moment, iconic day for the state.
No, absolutely. And, you know, from a nonprofit perspective, I mean, imagine, you know, the best comparison is if you were a small drink manufacturer. There's a lot of breweries here in, you know, Rhode Island, and or just, you know, beverage makers here. Imagine you're a small, you know, local brewery, and you all of a sudden had the marketing arm and support of a Coca-Cola. I mean, that's what all these local nonprofit, these smaller and medium-sized you know, nonprofits do when they work with the United Way of Rhode Island, because it really is. It just becomes this machine. It's so easy to get on board with the branding. You're right. There's so many messages out there. You and I both know that you can get lost on rabbit holes upon rabbit holes when you start looking down the internet. I've seen Cookie Monster sing 15 different versions of Purple Rain. It's amazing. And now with our little one in Canto is just, you know, it's blowing my mind.
But we don't talk about Bruno.
No, absolutely. Okay. Absolutely. Right. But we will talk about the amazing things that the United Way of Rhode Island does, because what people don't maybe not realize is you're also like an information hub, both of analytics, but also if people have any kind of a concern, you were absolutely huge and instrumental during, you know, the pandemic with people that were just didn't know where to get the answers. There was so much flying so fast and furious. 211 in Rhode Island and in other parts of the country, obviously that still works as well. But 211 specifically in Rhode Island, it gets you to a person, a human, for any myriad of concerns that you may have, that a person may have, whether it be financial, may be health related, may be whatever. And it just, and in multiple, I mean, almost, I think over 100 languages or so, that is just 200. There you go. Yeah. I mean, the information keeps on getting updated as we go. That just, to me, is that's the power of working with United Way Rhode Island.
Well, thank you for that, Ben. And, you know, you're right. 211 is what I call, and I know many call, the front door to social services in the state of Rhode Island. And so, you know, think about it. There's 4,000 different programs that someone might need at any point in time in their life, or may qualify for in a different way at some point in their life. And so that's overwhelming to think about, like, where do you start? How do you access those resources? And you know, and it's for folks who are in crisis, for folks who are experiencing things for the first time, like parents who need to complete Medicare paperwork for the first time. I mean, if anybody's ever done that, oh my goodness, it's hugely complicated. And so you can call 211, and 211 is here to help. 211 is available 24/7, 365, 200 different languages. We also have a mobile unit that goes to 55 different locations every month, a brand new RV, which we're so excited about. We needed a new one. Yep. And we are one of the only 211 programs in the country that actually offer an in-person opportunity, so you can get services and support in person at our 50 Valley Street location in Oneyville. And so we took last year, we just recently announced 263,000 phone calls from Rhode Islanders. The year before that, in the heat of 2020, we took 255,000. So 2021 was even more challenging than 2020 was. And so, and actually the data, to your point on the analytics, we have and have been able to for years actually watch a recession or various different challenges economically happen through the call volumes. And so we knew when the 2008, 2009 recession was happening because of the uptick of call volumes. Same thing in 2021. We knew this was coming. We knew this was happening because we were getting more and more Rhode Islanders who were in crisis. We were getting more and more Rhode Islanders who needed rental assistance and utility assistance and food options. You know, all of that was already happening. And so we use that data to then help inform, where are there gaps in the community? Is there a place, say, is Warwick have the resources that they need to serve increase in calls that we're getting. And if they don't, then we actually go with the nonprofits in that area and we say, hey guys, we need your help. Can you expand your services? We will support and fund you to be able to do that, right? So the 211 data to us is like, the mecca. It is the core of how we think about what the needs of the state are so that we can be responsive to both the short-term and long-term needs of Rhode Island. And we share that data with our legislators and with the community at large as well.
Which is great. And I love the fact that you have both the phone, you have the online, but also the in-person component with the RV. Although with the roads, with the past winter we've had, maybe we need the 211 hovercraft just to kind of float over the, it's something to give us a little bit more of a cushion there. But it's no, it's great. And folks, and I remember, when the first vehicle and 211 was first being introduced, I sat in a meeting with the Cardi brothers and the staff and leadership at United Way of Rhode Island. And when they were telling us, and I remember specifically Nick Cardi, God rest his soul, said, well, this just makes sense. It's like, where do we sign? It's like, gee, what, I mean, it really does. And it makes it easy. It makes it simple. And that's the great thing about it. If folks want to learn more, if people want to get involved in the different ways, what's the easiest way?
Sure. Go to unitedwayri.org and you can see the various resources that are available. And then we also have a great volunteerism page. So if you're interested in volunteering, those are there. If you are ready for 401 Gives, you can go today to 401gives.org. You can go and take a look at all the nonprofit organizations. And on April 1st, look at the prize page. Because depending on the time you give, the nonprofit organizations can get certain prizes, or that's increase in cash, that's opportunities for tools to be for their operations, et cetera, et cetera. The prize page, and we have some great sponsors this year. We have matching gifts from Rhode Island Foundation and Hope Global, FM Global, and the Pepito Opportunity Connection are all key sponsors for the program this year. And so take a look, because time your stuff appropriately, i.e. my husband wakes up, makes coffee, and is ready to give right at 6 a.m. So, and so it's like, there's a strategy to this.
Sure.
Also, I would encourage you to bring your kids along to the process. And so one of the things that we have on 401gives.org is the ability to buy e-cards, e-gift cards.
Okay.
And so I buy cards for my boys as well as my nieces and nephews. And so I send that to their parents before the day and encourage them to be good philanthropists. And because, to be a philanthropist is not just to give millions of dollars, even though we are appreciative of all those who do.
Yes.
But it's to give, period, of your time, your talents, and your treasures, not one or the other, all three, to your community. And we got to start that young. And so I hope Callie will pick her favorite nonprofit.
We've been working with her on that in different forms, around the holidays and recently with the various drives to support, what's going on overseas and everything. And we'll continue that, rest assured, because, we've been very fortunate and we want to pass that on. So Cortney, I'll let you go. Thank you so much for everything your staff, your volunteers, the people that have come before you and the people that'll be coming after you. And it's just real, not after you in the bad way, not like
I'm sticking around.
Well,
So,
that's right. It's not after you, it's like they're gonna, but anyway, it is Providence. No, but thank you so much. And folks, if you want to learn more, go hit the links in the description. We want you to get involved. 401 Gives Day. It's going to be awesome, April 1st. Cortney, next time we're in the car, we'll go get lunch or we'll do something fun. It involves food.
I love it.
Why not, right?
Why not? Absolutely. I love it. Thank you as always for being such a great champion of our community and specifically of the work happening and of 401 Gives. Every single year you go, Court, what can I do? And I really, really appreciate that.
It's the least I can do. It's the least we all can do. Thank you so much. We'll chat with you soon, folks. Go give.